Good morning, South Beach. Here we are at the world famous 5th Street Gym, Miami Beach, for Coach Dino's boxing tip number 59, styles make fights. Just because fighter A can beat fighter B and fighter B can beat fighter C doesn't mean fighter A can beat fighter C. Styles make fights. Sometimes it's speed versus power. Sometimes a lefty-righty situation. You can beat everybody in the top 10, and number 11 is a lefty that gives you a hard time. That's why you see many of the current world champions have 200, 300, 400 amateur fights for you to get a chance to really see every different type of style. You can go to different cities like Detroit, Philadelphia, where the Philly roll comes from, and see different things, different styles by going to gyms, traveling, and experiencing the different styles. But sometimes somebody just has your number. The way they fight is always going to give you a hard time, and there's really not much you can do about it. The great fighters somehow find a way to overcome that, along with their team. Many times it's all about the promoter and the manager picking out the right fights for you. And if they pick the wrong fight, just because you're a better fighter on paper, doesn't mean you can necessarily beat that guy. And that's their job as experts in their field, to make sure they protect you and give you the fights that you can win. Coming up, it's also their job to give you exposure to different styles of fighters that really can't beat you. They're really not that good at all, but they are better at that style. They're good at this style, but not good enough to beat you. So you get exposed to it. They probably give you a hard time, but in the end, you wind up getting the victory, building up your record, building up your resume, building up your exposure, your knowledge as a fighter. All these things are just as important as speed, power, endurance, and everything else. So to be a winner, you have to cover all your bases, be firing on all cylinders, and sometimes that one little ingredient can be enough to derail your career. So it's important that you make yourself aware of styles and get exposed to as many as possible. And that is my boxing tip of the week.
I am the greatest.